I think that we all should learn from the big masters. Not only look at the photographs, but try to understand what makes them work. So what we're going to do today is to try and decipher what a master sees. And today we will look at the work of Alex Webb. I will not waste your time with introduction. The chance that you are on my channel and never heard of Alex Webb is pretty much non-existent. But if you haven't, just Google the name. Alex Webb is a master of complexity and layered composition. He avoids using a single point of interest in his photographs. Instead, he fills the frame with multiple points of interest, which make his photographs a pleasure to look at and a masterclass in composition at the same time. He uses every compositional technique that can come to your mind. But there are two that I see keep coming back a lot in his photographs. The first one is splitting the frame. He would use a vertical, horizontal, or even a curved line to split the scene into two, or connect two different realities together. There is nothing new in that. It is just the way he does it is brilliant. The second one is layering. His layering is complex, but at the same time very accurately executed in terms of time and subject distributions. Again, a masterclass in how layering should be done. So let's try and break down a few of his photographs into compositional elements so we can learn and just try to understand what exactly is happening there and what he had in his mind. This is something I recommend doing with any photograph that caught your attention. That will help you to learn how photographs are made and give you a glimpse into another photographer's thinking process. If you need a framework on how to do analysis on the photographs, one of the PDFs in my street photography toolkit is doing exactly that. You can grab it in the video description. Okay, so let's start. The first photograph that I want to look at is a photo from 1993, photographed in Cuba. You can find it in some of Webb's books, including the one that I like the most, The Suffering of Light. The link for the book is in the video description as well. Why is this photograph phenomenal? There are so many things that came together here that it's hard to believe that all of this can happen in one shot. So let's try and break it down. What do I like about this photo? Well, first, the colors. They're contrasting and harmonious at the same time. This very unique combination gives the scene, I don't want to call it cinematic, but maybe just a surreal look. The photograph feels unique to me, and even though it was shot in 1993, I can't recall seeing many photographs that resemble that one. The colors, on one side, they're contrasting, they're exactly the opposite of each other on the color wheel, but you can see that both of the colors are close to the center, and that makes the transition smoother. The contrast doesn't feel too punchy, but rather harmonious. Now about the light. If I have to guess, the light is coming from a street or a car light from the left side of the photographer. We can see that in the shadows formed on the right side of the girls and on the green wall. So you have a mix here of natural and artificial lighting. One gives the mood, and the other one helps you probably with the exposure, but also with the shapes. Now I want you to notice a small thing. Even though this image is complex and with a lot of elements, the image doesn't feel busy, and it's easily readable. This is actually a very hard thing to achieve, to have a complex composition with a lot of elements, but with clean and undistracting backgrounds, which makes it very easy to perceive. Take a moment to notice how well each subject is placed and how all of them are on a background that allows them to remain prominent. The man on the top left is on a clean, colorful sky background. The girls on the bottom are illuminated from the side in such a way that are clearly visible on the darker background. And of course, the faces of the boys on the right are also easily visible and the background is clear. All the key subjects here are properly isolated and readable. This is why I always remind students to keep an eye on the background. The background is so important. You don't necessarily need to have a clean background on the whole frame, but try to place your subject in areas where they will stand out. Let's look at the geometry and overall composition. The image is very strong compositionally. It feels intentional and carefully crafted. Every line and the placement of each subject are perfectly placed. My eyes go first to the boys on the right, then they go to the men, and lastly to the girls at the bottom. That forms sort of attention triangle on which my eyes rotate between the subjects. The left side has this compressed human cluster, which creates narrative tension. On the right are the two dominant figures, which are establishing physical presence, and the eye contact of them feels almost confrontational. And in the center you have this large flat green wall, which is acting as a visual buffer between the two scenes. It works as a negative space, but it's not passive or lacking texture. The lines or the shadows are helping directing the visual flow. Because of the way the right side feels spacious, the left side feels compressed. And remember I mentioned split frame earlier? While here the vertical line separating the two areas of the photograph is not full, it still does the job of splitting the image and dividing the attention between the two sides. You can see that you have the people on the left, then a vertical line, and another group of people on the right, with a lot of surrounding space. Overall, all the lines in this image feel in the right place and are supporting the geometry nicely. Apart from that, he used grouping here. There are 5 people in the scene, but they're read as 3 groups. That helps simplifying the image. It is much easier to perceive 3 objects rather than 5. And one small thing, when I say that the photographer has used grouping, it's more that the photographer noticed that the objects are in groups. His job is not to organize them into groups. His job is to notice that and compose with these groups in mind. Now, in terms of story, I don't see a particularly strong story, or the photograph itself doesn't come with a strong narrative. You see the guys, you see the girls, and some guy taking the higher ground. It can be a hangout place for young people or basically any place. There aren't visual clues in terms of sense of place. There is nothing that points out that this was photographed in Cuba. We know that from the photograph description. In this photograph, you can clearly see that he has 2 sets of eyes on him. One from his main subject on the right and another from the girls behind. The way they look at him is candid. It doesn't feel like they're posing. It's more like a curiosity look at what this guy is doing here. If I have to assume, he was probably using a wider lens, and the boys on the right didn't even think that they're in the frame. They were just looking at him, at what he's doing. We can of course go and dig further, but that's unnecessary. If you find some more components that I missed, help others in the comments. Let's try and look at another photograph. Why does that photograph work? Well, first, it has a clear subject and interesting composition. I have chosen this photograph for several reasons. The first one is the repeating rectangular forms throughout the whole photo, starting from the windows and doors on the red building and going to the black frames the kids are used to climb on. They all give that photograph the structured feeling. And again, even with the multiple compositional elements, the photograph doesn't feel overcomplicated. There is a strong and logical structure to it. Now, if we search for the most dominant lines, we will find these 3. One line is pointing towards the child, another line is again splitting the scene, and the third line supporting the feet and again directing the attention to the depth of the scene. All 3 help us to understand the structure and the intention of the image better. Another compositional trick that Alex Webb used here is reconstruction. One of the things that a lot of photographers are trying to do is to capture the whole. Most photographers approaching a place where these 3 kids are playing would try to capture the whole bodies, their faces, and overall try to present them as they are, the whole scene. But no, Alex Webb doesn't do that. He uses reconstructions. You will ask, what does reconstructions actually mean? It means that we don't need to see the whole object to know that it's there. We don't need to see the whole house to know that there is a house there. Similarly, we don't need to see the whole child to know that there is a child playing there. In this photograph, Alex Webb is showing you just the feet and the hand, but you know that there are children there. Our minds are very skillful in filling the missing gaps to get the logical conclusion and understanding the whole picture of what is happening there. Another thing that many photographers would try to do while composing such a shot is to have all the lines straight. And I don't understand what is the obsession with straight line is. Leveling all the lines here will make that photo static, stale, and overall boring. All that energy that you feel here when looking at that image right now, it will disappear. You can see how much motion the diagonal lines are introducing. They make the image alive. Now, in terms of background, it is a fairly simple background that doesn't take over the story, and this is what you usually want. In terms of colors, you can see that the color palette is limited to 2 main colors. Even the boys' pants and shoes match the color of the background. And these color matchings are also something that keeps returning through Webb's work and generally is very popular in street photography. And if we touch about the story, again, in terms of story, the photo doesn't have any visual clues of where it has been taken. You just see the kids hanging out in some street. It could be photographed anywhere. That pattern keeps coming back through Webb's work. He shows us a scene, but the context of the sense of place is cut out. Another thing to notice here is the photographer's presence. He feels this time like he is a part of the happening. He is one of the kids. His presence is not felt. That might be another reason for taking the other 2 kids out of the frame, because they might have been looking at him or interacting with him at the time of the shot. How do you like it so far? Let's go for another work. What I like about this photograph is actually the simplicity and the emotional resonance. I show you this work mainly because it's fairly simply composed. There's a tendency to think that we always need to make complex compositions and introduce multiple elements, layers, and vice versa, but simplicity works. You can always use simplicity. Don't think about it as an inferior way of composing. Not every great photograph is complex. Actually, the opposite is true. Most of the iconic photos are fairly simple, but with a strong visual narrative. At the end, what we want to do with our photograph is to present what we see, and often the most effective way is simple. In terms of narrative, I'm not sure what is happening here. Perhaps it's some religious class in some African country, but there is emotional resonance from this photograph, and I would attribute this to the boy's facial expressions and the colors. This is pure color harmony. You can see that the majority of the colors are from the same color range, which creates that color harmony. And again, Webb is using a very tight color range here, and you can see how powerful it is. Most of his color photographs are limited to 1 or 3 colors. Remember that. Don't throw too many colors into a single frame. Try to work with fewer colors and narrow that range. In fact, this photograph would work as well in black and white. But in this case, the colors are the ones that are giving the emotional narrative. They help you feel. In terms of composition, it is fairly simple. There are 4 objects evenly distributed across the frame, a lot of negative space that wraps them. The 2 boys in the middle are the more dominant figures and draw most of the attention. And that is more or less it. We can again dig deeper, but there is no need for that. I think I'll finish here. Alex Webb has plenty of work worth looking at and exploring. You can really learn a lot going and analyzing his works. In most of his photographs, you will see brilliant work with geometry and complexity. The way he photographs feels like he's in the scene but unnoticed, and I love that. Some other of his photographs are more mood-based, where color and light are the main compositional elements. There is a lot to look there and a lot to learn there. I will put some of his most popular books in the video description. Hope it was useful. See you next time, and happy shooting!